All right. Hey everyone, welcome back. I am Coach Tina Meinhardt, and you are in the Skills in Session. And also, we have Travis Brown here today. This is going to be episode 3. I'm going to talk about, and Travis is going to inquire about my experience this past weekend at the first annual BICP Coaches Convention and Global Skills Day.
And I am very excited to inquire about it because I've been hearing about this day for a big chunk of months. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there to coach or to be a participant. And so I'm very eager to hear about it. I have gotten to see a couple of the interviews that Tina got from being down there, and really it just made me want to be down there more. So I'm pretty excited to hear about it. And this is the first time that the BICP has done an event like this, which is really awesome. They got to test out we got to test out a couple new things, like not just certifying coaches, but improving coaches' skills, as well as our new form of the 1 day level 1 recertification course. So I'm pumped to hear about it. So Tina, can you give me just like a broad strokes overview of the weekend?
Yeah, so it was held at Howler Bike Park, and I don't know about you all watching, but I've been seeing stories and posts pop up on my Instagram. Well, Howler Bike Park is located just outside of Branson, Missouri, so the very bottom of Missouri, in the Ozarks, and it's this super small, really cute, unique, family-owned bike park. And I apologize, I don't have the full story, but it's owned by, I think her name is Jen Penny, and her husband, I believe his name is John. Well, they created this bike park, has these amazing trails, some really incredible like berms and massive jumps and drops, and these military shuttle vehicles that will take you for like a 5 minute ride to the top. And there's about, I don't know, 8 trails. But anyway, really cool spot. They've got some camping there. They had an apartment for like coaches to stay at. And then they have an amazing chef that has a grill, awesome smash burger, awesome pulled pork, and really delicious fries, as well as a bike shop. They've got a mechanic there on site and a gear shop, and then a coffee shop. They had the best. I mean, literally, I'm kind of obsessed with that iced coffees. And sadly, Starbucks, but they had the best honey lavender iced coffee. And every day I had to get one. It was so good. But anyway, the food was amazing, the drinks were amazing, the hospitality was incredible. So if you are looking for like a unique experience, a bike park to go to, yes, the laps are kind of short, a couple minutes, but it was really awesome, super fun to be at. So anyway, that was the location.
And how often do you get to ride in a military vehicle to go downhill mountain biking?
Yeah, it was, I think that's what they
That's
were. They
sweet.
were calling them like military shuttles. I think it fit like 20 bikes and
That's
like,
awesome.
oh yeah, it was really cool. Um, so yeah, it was a really cool spot. Yeah, right between Branson, Missouri and Springfield, Missouri, just right off the highway. But yeah, so we had on Friday, well, we arrived Thursday and it was baking. Like my husband and I and our dogs, we drove out in our new RV, this 25-foot RV, and we're camping there, no hookup, so there was no air conditioning, but it was literally, I think they said a high of like 95 that day. So we went to bed like the dogs and us just sweating, trying to open all the windows, like put fans on. And then on Friday, yeah, Friday it was kind of pleasant. But then it did rain, I think. Yeah, it rained a little bit. So unfortunately, the trails were a little bit wet. Or not the trails, the spaces that we were going to use for the skills, the level 1 cert were a little damp. So we had to kind of make some adjustments. In the level 1, small circles is one of the skills, and it's very gravelly. There are, a bunch of rocks and stuff. So and nothing's really that flat. That's not like full of rocks or full of kind of clayey mud.
Mhm.
So we ended up knocking that out first after a pre-ride assessment. Um, but anyway, on Sat or Friday night, and just talking about the weather because weather is always fun to talk about. But
Big factor.
yeah, so Friday night it cools off, and I think it dropped to like below freezing. So Saturday morning was pretty cold. So we had like complete opposites, like mid 90s, baking, and then going to bed cold. Luckily the RV does have heat, so we were fine. But Saturday morning for the Global Skills Day, where we had a bunch of clinics, and like 18 to 20 participants out for, it was pretty chilly in the morning, but then it became a beautiful day, and it was really, really nice after that. But got a little bit of everything down in Missouri.
Sweet.
far as the weather goes.
What'd you guys have going on Sunday?
And then on Sunday, that was the kind of educational talk. So just kind of we met at the little apartment there. So Coach Kate was staying there. It was really cute, just all in one location. And then we had seven art participants join for that. We zoomed in with Shams and Nicole so that they could be a part of the discussion. So that was really nice. Everyone got our coffees and we had a couple different talks. So the first thing we talked about, besides like intros of kind of everyone that was attending, like who they are, where they're from, what their business is, or what they're doing as far as a coach in their community. But then we talked about youth programming, so a lot of great ideas there. How to get kids on bikes, how can families afford mountain bikes and mountain bike coaching and gear and all that. And then went into my little talk. So, how to create community. So, kind of just explained how I started Girls, Gears, and Beers, how it grew, how it then fed into my coaching business with Rowdy Rider Academy in Denver. And then everyone kind of joined the conversation about what they've done in their communities and how we can build communities where we are to then gather clients from. So, that was really cool to talk about. And then lastly, just talking about like insurance liability stuff, and kind of more nitty-gritty things. But it was really an awesome, I'm 3 hours on Sunday morning, just yeah, bouncing ideas off of each other, getting really excited about, oh yeah, like this is a great idea to for me to, put build this as from an LLC to a nonprofit, but how do I do that? As far as takeaways that I got, but then some of the other coaches were getting, and just yeah, just sharing ideas. So it was really cool and a great experience to kind of cap off the weekend.
Yeah, and to have a full weekend to do it and that like time with everybody. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, that's like a very it feels like a very comprehensive mountain bike weekend for
it
sure.
was. Yeah, and a little bit of riding.
Yeah,
Keep
excellent.
laps in. Yeah. So it's awesome.
That's sweet. So what was the research day like?
Yeah, the research day, there was four people in the level one recertification or crossover pathway. Um, Two of the participants were guys from Omaha, and they are NICA coaches. So they have not taken the BICP level one, but they were getting their crossover to become a BICP level one certified coach. And
Totally.
then two of the other participants were level one certified already, but were just recertifying. But
Yep.
yeah, it was a nice small group, and yeah, with the like kind of wet, muddy weather. We did have to make some adjustments in the morning, but everyone was super, super friendly, super awesome, very flexible. We found a nice area after things kind of dried off to do all of our pre-ride assessments and then knock out the small circles and then get into
Mhm.
some of the other skills so that by the afternoon they were all feeling good to do their two skills teaches and then they all passed. So it was a
Yes.
great day. Lunch, yeah, lunch was amazing, which was actually kind of funny because for most of our skills, we just had, the runway, the cone zone, and it was right behind the grill where the smoker was like out back. So we're like in the smoke fumes, the smoker fumes. So it's kind of, yeah.
And just getting
Right.
hungrier and
Yeah.
hungrier as the day went on, I'd imagine. I don't
Yes.
know.
And
Yeah.
then even after lunch, like I still smell the barbecue. Like I want
Yeah,
more.
for sure.
So that was fun.
One thing that I thought was cool, so this is a new thing, the crossover courses, like being able to take a NICA certification and then bring that to like the BICP certification. That's like pretty new. And one thing that I learned a bunch of years ago that I thought was really fun, and the NICA curriculum is based on old versions of the BICP curriculum. And so not only are they getting an additional certification, but they're getting updates on the curriculum that they've been using, and so they're
Yeah.
getting new information with the recertification crossover. That's super cool.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah. And it's a lot kind of quicker too. So if you already have some of this background, like obviously you still need to go through the coursework. But it's like all that stuff's valuable and being able to kind of take it step by step again and pick up new things that maybe they didn't have because I'm not that familiar with the NICA curriculum, but it sounded like the guys were really excited about the new stuff that they learned.
Tina, with how familiar you are with BICP stuff,
Mhm.
you'd read through it and be like, "Oh, this makes perfect sense
Yeah.
for sure." Yeah. Um, Cool. Well, that's awesome. And so everyone passed. That's fantastic. What was because this is also, the first year that we've been offering one-day recertification courses. Um, how did the participants feel about that? Did they get a lot out of it still? I mean, I know they did. But like, what was their view on it?
Yeah, I think they still got a lot out of it because we're basically taking the more I guess complicated skills like or difficult to actually achieve the ride standard. So the small circles, that's always the hard one, the 8 foot circle. And then the front and rear wheel lift are pretty new to the level one. So that's in there for sure. But the pre-ride assessment, we're already covering the ready positions, bike body separation. So those aren't tested, but they're still, they still have to perform them and be, checked off that
Yep.
they're solid in those fundamentals. So I think they liked, having not having to spend a lot of time on, those things that they already know or should know well. Like even, yeah, the Nike coaches, like, having those fundamentals, I think they did say like, oh yeah, or a couple people said, oh, I never was taught the foot wedge. So stuff like that was new, but it's like, okay, this is a really important kind of fundamental to then build upon. But yeah, I feel like it just went a lot quicker. And like I said, they still have to go through the whole curriculum. You have to read through that, take the testing again, which I think, we all should be doing anyway, here and there, just for keeping it fresh in our minds. But being tested just on 6 skills is
Mhm.
definitely a little more just easier for people to not have to take, a long weekend off work or to have to travel for and just knock it out in one day at a reduced price. I think makes a lot of sense.
Definitely. And one thing I love about, yeah, I noticed this in the Midwest a lot. Like, it's you get a people kind of coming from a variety of places, and like when mountain bikers come together, and good people come together, it's always just like a fun community, like building event. And if I recall, we had one. I watched one of the interviews where one of your participants mentioned that. Can you pull
Yeah.
that one up?
Yeah, let me share my screen here. All right, can you see it?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Keenan Page. Really enjoyed my BICP experience this weekend at Howler Bike Park. The first off, just being around all of these fellow mountain bikers was just healing for the soul. The learning environment is super open, but laser on point. I feel like I had the time of my life while both taking away a ton of stuff that really turned light bulbs on for me. I've been coaching 5 years, and still, like, each individual session I did, I just had a blast, like, trying it out and bringing something back for our team, learning between form and technique. And most of all, though, like I said, just after 2 days on the bike together, we're a little mountain bike family. We're connecting, and it's just really cool to see what everyone does in their normal day jobs and how many phone numbers and emails we're exchanging just to keep the vibes going. So thanks to BICP for getting us out here and bringing us together.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's such like a I feel like I could like hang out with
Mhm.
Keenan. I don't know. I've
Oh
never met
yeah.
him, but he seems like
Yeah.
super chill and like I
Yes.
love how he was so he said like the time of my life and taking so many things away. He feels seems very reflective. And I
Yeah.
mean that says so much about the level of yours and Kate's coaching. For people to come into like every person is coming into this recertification course with experience and you guys are still building upon it and still improving their coaching. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is why, as coaches and or just riders ourselves, it's like we never stop learning. I mean, in any sport. But then you can, you think that you know everything, and then you go take a course or take a lesson and you pick up one or two things that are kind of like life changing. Like, oh my gosh, that's so simple. Why did I not know this before?
Yes.
Gotta
So, a
execute
couple
now.
things, like three or four things just popped into my head that I got coached on for
Yeah.
sure. Those moments are very, very real.
Yeah, yeah, no, Keenan was a lot of fun to have in class, and he was there on Saturday and Sunday as well. He came with four guys from Omaha. I think they all worked together, and yeah, it was really fun.
That's great, man. Well, okay, so people passed. Were there things going on Friday night or was everyone ready to like, okay, let's go nap or
Yeah,
let's
I think because Friday, yeah, we wrapped up a little bit early, so the shuttles run until 6, which is
sweet.
cool. So yeah, I think yeah, the guys went up and were doing laps, and then we did have one lady from Houston, Scotty was in it, and she came with her friend from Bentonville, Jessica, who was in the clinics on Saturday. Yeah, so they came together, and so I think yeah, people were just doing some laps. I was able to go get geared up and do some laps. So that was really fun. And then yeah, there was a fire pit out there and chairs and tables and stuff. So yeah, some people brought drinks and started on the fire, and then I went back to the RV with Bruce and our dogs, and yeah, made dinner and went to bed early.
As you do when you are the coach. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I want to hang out, but also it's like, oh, I want to take off all this mountain bike gear and
We got to take care of
clean up.
ourselves. It's all good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, so okay, so day one recert, that's awesome. Thank you for I have one of those I have a single day recert course in July in central Minnesota at Cuyuna Imba Ride Center. And so it is fun to see see Keenan's experience and hear how it went for you. And I'm just like I'm excited for that course for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm doing another one in Lander, Wyoming in May next month. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Were you able to squish it together with a level one as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh gosh, 4 days all day. But
Well, it will be a bit of work,
yeah.
but
But it's mountain biking. I'm not complaining. Being
yeah.
outside, yeah, preaching and teaching. It'll be fun.
Definitely. It will be great. Awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about Skills Day? Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, so on Saturday we did yeah, di different skills. So we had two packages. We called the package A and package B. So I was the coach for package A, and then Kate was the coach for package B. So Kate Nolan from Brown County Bikes in Nashville, Indiana, or the eastern, well, I guess it's like southeastern Indiana. It's 2 hours from Cincinnati, where I grew up riding, and I used to go to Brown County. So super awesome area that's grown a lot. Um, but yeah, so we started at 8 a.m., kind of all met at base camp, got organized, and kind of broke up into our groups. I think my group had about 8 participants. I think Kate had like, yeah, 10 or so.
Hmm.
And then I did 8 to 10 a.m. We were covering technical trail tactics. So like different wheel lifts, strategies for technical climbing. So we're incorporating the BICP, like, the different wheel lifts. So we covered front wheel lift, rear wheel lift, manuals, level lift, the quarter pedal punch. And then yeah, did some drills with those in the skills area. And then up to get up back to the parking lot where people like park and camp, had this really steep, like gravelly climb with a bunch of like rock stairs, which was like pretty impossible to make it. But just past that, there was another little spot that had some rock steps and another gravelly bit with a couple little rock ledges. So we used that at the end of that clinic to session for
Yeah.
our positioning, body positioning. So that worked out pretty well. And then Kate had I forget what she had in her first lesson. Let me pull it up. What does she have here? Um, where's all my things? It's somewhere. I got too many things open.
Well, it's all good. I mean, yeah, it's all good. While you're looking for that, I love and this is something that I used to do when I was running the mountain bike coaching program in West Virginia for the Arrowhead Bike Farm is like, instead of having like this is our intro skill session. Like that's very generic. And I mean, it is like, there are very important foundational introductory skills. But
Right.
if you can phrase and frame a lesson around something that's more concrete, like technical climbs, and then teach skills specifically for that,
Yeah.
so like it having like being able to do it perform a technical climb for me is like
Oh
the
yeah.
most satisfying because it's
Yeah.
it's it's so hard
Yeah, super hard. A lot of fitness. We talked about that, like,
yeah.
I really preach strength, especially because a lot of my clients are women and are aging women. It's like you got to be in the weight room and lifting heavy. Riding alone is not going to get you up and over. the big stuff when you're already tired from the climb. So that was cool. There was a couple of the ladies that were really interested in that, and even the guys are like, "Well, tell me what exercises should I do?" I was like, "Well, there's a lot."
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kate had track stand and North Shore dismounts as her first
Ooh,
session. So
nice.
yeah, that was pretty cool. And then we the next 2 hour session at 10:15, Kate and I got together and we were doing roll downs and drops. So
Cool.
we shuttled everybody up to the top of the mountain, and a couple of the entrance features to some of the trails had some rocky like roll downs and a nice drop, couple feet. So that was really cool to see the progression and everybody getting confident into,
Yeah.
yeah, getting forward and doing the roll down and then dropping it. Um, and then we had lunch after that. Yeah, amazing food by chef, as they call him, chef. And then the afternoon, I did corners and switchbacks, really focusing on cornering since we are at a bike park. But
Hmm.
did a couple drills down low, and then shuttled up and found a really awesome corner, kind of a berm corner that had this crazy, like, I don't know what it was. It was kind of like a carpet, like a rubber, this brown, like rubbery carpet. It was amazing, but just like tons of traction. It was a right-handed into a transition left. So yeah,
Cool.
that was really fun. And then during that time, Kate's class was working on manuals and bunny hops.
Sweet.
And then the last session of the day at 3:15 until about 5:15, we were doing basic jumping. So
Nice.
we all shuttled up to the top and ran through some drills, and then um, found a long 15-foot tabletop. But yeah, Kate led that, and she did a really good job of the progressions into that because 15 feet is not a beginner. But some
Mm-mm.
of the smaller jumps at the bike park were just a little too hard to get to with a big group to
Sure.
session. But it worked out really well because they have a new trail that's not open yet. And so it had some nice like kind of berms and rollers right before, and you could get a little speed to help with form, but we're
Cool.
not preaching speed first, it's technique, but it worked out pretty well. We had quite a few participants like able to clear the 15 feet by the end
Nice.
of the clinic. So that was super awesome. So we wrapped up then, the whole group, yeah, there was about 18 to 20, I think. And then yeah, still had a little bit of time left to do a couple laps.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's another long day, but like such a broad range of skills. That is super sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, covered everything.
Awesome. Do you want to share the interviews
Yeah.
from the participants from Skills Day?
Yeah, let's do that. I've got Kim and Katie, and then I can't find Todd's. His disappeared. So sorry, Todd. But
Todd, I did see I did get to see the interview. It was wonderful, and we'll touch base on your contributions to this podcast in a couple
yeah,
of minutes when we wrap things up.
yeah. So here's Kim.
My name's Kim. I'm from Michigan. I'm 56 years old. I took the BICP Global Skills Day today, and it was fantastic. A couple things that I had to work on today was it helped me correct bad habits. It also helped me learn new technical skills that I don't have in Michigan, and I also had accountability, and I made new friends too, so which was awesome.
There's Kim, and she also got they call it the honey bunny iced coffee with lavender and honey and some oat milk. It was delicious.
Nice.
All right, so here's Katie.
Hi guys, I'm Katie. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, and we're BICP at level one, certified with Travis. Love him. Such a great
Yeah.
day to be here. We're part of Global Skills Day, and it was amazing. It was such an amazing opportunity to meet great people. Our coaches were so good. Kate and Tina were amazing, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much.
I did get to work with I certified Katie and Todd a chunk like three or so years ago, and like both of their energy and drive within like mountain bike coaching and getting more people into it is just like so pure and authentic.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I mean, you could see the excitement on Katie's face.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, there was a lot of that energy.
Excellent. As I would hope, for sure. Sweet. Well, that's a awesome, successful day for sure. And on Sunday, you mentioned you led a talk about building community and your story, like insane, awesome, like successful story within mountain biking in the Denver area. And there was, what were the other things going on as well?
Talking about like the youth community, youth programming, like, how to get more kids on bikes and get them out there and just, yeah, different things, all like kid coaching, when you're having some discussions about how do you progress a group when you have someone really struggling, not just kids, but anybody. Um, but yeah, I don't coach kids that often. It is something that I do want to start offering here at Rowdy Rider Academy in Denver. I was taking a lot of notes like, oh yeah, I like this idea, different games.
Yeah.
Also, like, how do we get people on bikes that can't afford bikes? Because I know the guys from Omaha, their business is they serve the underserved community. So a lot of that is, they ask the parents, hey, if you can get your kids here to the location, we will get them all the gear, the helmets, the bikes, but the travel, that's important too.
For
So just
sure.
a lot of discussion around the youth community of mountain biking.
That's awesome. What were some of the things that came up for supporting underserved communities? Like, what's like a specific thing someone listening to this could
Yeah.
contribute to their community?
I think it's more, yeah, it's just financing. Like, where do you find the bikes? And you have to have donations,
Yeah,
um, grants and all that just to be able to provide the bikes and the equipment.
yeah,
And then obviously, yeah, like a safe space to be running camps and running clinics. You can't just take kids, who may have never been on a bike and like, oh, let's go to this trail that might be, a little unsafe. But yeah, so finding safe and controlled environments, obviously, to do your pre-ride assessment as you
hmm
should as a BICP coach. And then yeah, the right and appropriate trails and places to take them and having the right people, there. So making sure the coaches that you're working with have some sort of ride guide or certification that know how to work with kids.
hmm Yeah, some of the folks that that have like, they're not providing bikes to every participant, but they've been able to get like they have like a little stash, couple
Yeah.
of each size. They did it through having like great relationships with local bike shops as well. I think a lot of local bike shops are, interested in supporting this type of work because that's also going to support the type of work that they
Yeah,
do.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, you're building these kids to be great trail users and future trail builders, bike shop owners, coaches,
Yeah,
part of the community. So you want to start them off on the right foot for sure.
totally. Man, Tina, that sounds like an awesome, awesome weekend. I wonder, well, I know that we'll be doing more of these. I'm excited to see the frequency. I'm sure that I'd love to see if we have another one posted this
Oh
fall.
yeah, yeah, that would be
Uh,
cool.
that has not been, for people listening, that has not been verified by anyone. That was purely a my thought. So we'll see what happens. But definitely springtime's a great time to recertify, so we'll have one next spring for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Uh, but Tina, anything else you want to touch on as we wrap things up?
No, I mean, just big thank you to Howler Bike Park. I mean, they were so awesome and just had everything ready for us. And yeah, it's a really cool place. And yeah, worked a lot with Jen and yeah, her husband drove us in the little side by side or whatever it is up to the mountain to kind of scope things out, I think on Thursday night. And just they were just around to help. And yeah, it was a cool spot. I definitely would love for BISP to go back there. I think it was
Sweet.
a good spot. Their skills area, actually, it's in construction, so that's why it was all muddy and kind of broken up. But I'm looking forward to seeing how they're developing that, because it is a BICP certified skills park, I believe. So yeah, that's a cool thing that they have. And
And
apparently
for
Kyle Straight's building like a is it a slope style course or I don't know. He's building something there, which is like, what, really? Yeah.
cool.
So it sounds like they're doing a lot of really cool stuff and cool events.
That's sweet. And just to touch on what like a certified, I don't know the exact phrase, but certified BICP course venue
Location or venue, yeah.
location. Basically that means they are putting in all of the features required to have super great progressions for the BICP skills.
Hmm.
Like really good progressions for roll downs, really good progressions for drops, and building in like those smaller, more progressive jumps. Yeah, that's awesome. So like it, they're building this area, not just the intention to get like warmed up or like get ready for the trail. They're building this area with the intention to learn and develop more skills, which is awesome.
Hmm. Yeah,
Cool.
super cool.
Excellent. Well, Tina, that's all I got as well. Our next episode is going to be, oh, Todd. I almost forgot about Todd. No way. Okay. So Todd sent Tina an email. Tina forwarded it to me, and Todd had a suggestion for us to talk about. So one thing that so he works at a bike shop, like on the retail side of things, and he sells bikes, and part of like being a retail person in the mountain bike world is making sure that that rider is fully prepared to be out on the trail. And so what his shop does is they will like offer up intro skill session clinics. And it's funny because this is something that REI used to do when they had no, just like for they only did it for like a couple of years when I was working there.
Oh, okay.
But they used to do it there for the same reason. And so what we're going to talk about in the future, thank you, Todd, is the best ways that we can sell mountain bike lessons. Like show how they're important to people who don't already value in-person instruction. And I think that's going to be a super good conversation because the number of times where I've told people about my job and they're like, what do you teach? Like it's riding a bike.
Yeah,
It's off the charts the number of times that's been said to me.
yeah,
And it's fine, like you don't know what you don't know, and that's
yeah,
okay.
totally.
But so that's what we'll touch on are the best ways to show value in mountain bike coaching for folks who maybe don't have that solid of a grasp on what it can look like or what it can do for you.
Yeah, yeah. I think that'd be awesome.
Excellent. Well, Tina, I hope you have a good rest of the day. And for everyone listening, I hope you all have a great rest of the whatever time of day you are listening to this at.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining us on our episode 3.
Keeping it going.
Yeah, so far so good. Thanks
See
for
y'all later.
tuning. See ya.